What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Jiri Prochazka harshly criticized Tom Aspinall's decision to stop following the eye poke, arguing that a true warrior should continue competing when physically able. Speaking with Michael Bisping, Prochazka said fighters owe it to the fans and the sport to fight through adversity rather than concede when movement and awareness remain. The former light heavyweight champion used the moment to reflect on his own career and ambitions. Prochazka reiterated his desire for a third fight with Alex Pereira, insisting that neither of their previous meetings reflected his full potential. He explained the first bout came on short notice and the rematch was compromised by a staph infection, circumstances that prevented him from performing at his best. Despite those setbacks, he said he fought because it was a title fight and withdrawing was not in his character. Now, healthy and planning a full camp, Prochazka expects to show a much stronger version of himself. Looking ahead, Prochazka made clear his immediate priority is reclaiming the light heavyweight belt for the Czech Republic before considering a move down to middleweight. That goal, he said, guides his training and fight selection as he aims to restore the championship to his country. The interview also offered a glimpse into his unconventional training philosophy. Prochazka described sessions at his forest dojo where he alternates cold river plunges with hot saunas and, at times, trains nude, rituals he believes sharpen both body and spirit. Delivered with a grin, the anecdote underscored his belief in mental toughness and natural balance as integral to elite preparation. On the eye poke controversy specifically, Prochazka emphasized resilience and the responsibility fighters carry in main events. He acknowledged that injuries and irregularities happen and that recovery and adaptation are part of a fighter's craft. Still, he argued that overthinking or excessive calculation during a fight can sap a competitor's resolve. Prochazka remains committed to confrontation over concession and said he will keep pursuing top-level challenges until he achieves his objectives. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Robert Whittaker has officially expressed interest in fighting Sean Strickland on the historic UFC White House card set for June 2026. The former middleweight champion said this matchup has been on his radar for quite some time, not because of personal animosity, but because he's always admired Strickland's gritty, pressure-heavy fighting style. For Whittaker, it's a test of skill, composure, and endurance, everything he believes defines a true martial artist. Strickland, currently ranked number 3 in the middleweight division, remains one of the most durable and outspoken fighters in the UFC. Whittaker noted that a win over him would be a huge step toward reclaiming title contention and possibly securing another championship run. Fans, too, see it as a dream fight. Two world-class strikers who thrive in chaos, push forward relentlessly, and deliver non-stop action every time they step into the octagon. Meanwhile, on the Makhachev and Burns podcast, the hosts speculated about who Dricus du Plessis, DDP, might face next. Their top pick, Brendan Allen. Allen, fresh off a dominant victory over Rainier de Ridder, has been vocal about making a strong title run and even challenging Khamzat Chimaev in the near future. While Allen's confidence is high, analysts agree he may need another 1 or 2 key wins before stepping into title contention. The middleweight division remains stacked with talent. Fighters like DDP, Strickland, Allen, and Fluffy Hernandez are all vying for top positions, making the path to gold as competitive as ever. Podcast host Gilbert Burns highlighted the stylistic intrigue of a potential DDP versus Allen matchup. He mentioned their long-standing rivalry and training history, explaining that Allen has been eager to face du Plessis even before the South African captured UFC gold. Burns praised Allen's well-rounded grappling but pointed out the importance of complete wrestling defense to compete with top-level wrestlers like du Plessis or Chimaev. Burns emphasized that while some fighters possess elite grappling, they lack effective takedowns or struggle off their back. To beat a powerhouse like DDP, he said, you need both strong defensive wrestling and the ability to escape and reset. When discussing potential challengers capable of taking du Plessis down, Burns confidently stated, only Khamzat could do that, maybe Fluffy too. His co-host agreed, hinting that Fluffy Hernandez might be one of the few in the division capable of giving even Chimaev serious trouble. With Whittaker targeting Strickland and DDP potentially facing Allen, the middleweight division appears poised for fireworks in 2026, a perfect storm of rivalries, redemption arcs, and world-class matchups on the horizon. Move on to another news. In a recent interview with a Spanish outlet, Ilia Topuria opened up about his future career in the UFC and dropped major updates that have the MMA world buzzing. The undefeated featherweight champion made it clear that his upcoming plans remain unaffected by his brother Alexandra's fight in November at UFC Qatar. He emphasized that training camp conflicts won't be an issue this time, allowing him to fully dedicate himself to his own January bout. When asked about his next opponent, Topuria admitted that a fight with Paddy Pimblett seems like the more realistic option right now. However, he didn't shy away from stating his real ambition, a blockbuster showdown with Islam Makhachev. According to Ilia, facing Islam isn't just another fight, it's a legacy-defining moment that would test him against one of the most dominant champions in the UFC today. While fans are eager for the Paddy matchup due to their ongoing rivalry, Topuria sees Islam as the ultimate challenge and a fight worthy of global attention. The real headline, though, came when El Matador shared exclusive details about the long-awaited UFC event in Spain. Topuria revealed that behind the scenes, the UFC has been making significant progress toward bringing an event to Spanish soil, possibly at the iconic Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. For months, rumors swirled about the UFC's expansion into Europe's biggest venues, and now, Topuria has all but confirmed that the wheels are in motion. He explained that the main barrier delaying the project was the UFC's broadcast deal with ESPN. With that obstacle now behind them, the organization is taking massive steps toward finalizing the logistics. "We're taking bigger and stronger steps than anyone might imagine," Topuria said. "The plans for the UFC at the Bernabeu are much further along than what people have been hearing on TV. Last year, there were obstacles because of TV agreements, but now everything is moving forward faster than ever." Although Ilia didn't disclose an exact date or fight card, he confidently stated that the UFC's arrival in Spain is inevitable. "It's no longer a matter of if, but when." He assured fans that each step brings the dream closer to reality, promising that when it finally happens, it will be one of the most monumental moments in UFC history. As for who he might face on that historic card, speculation is already heating up. Could it be the grudge match with Paddy Pimblett, or will the UFC book him against Islam Makhachev in one of the biggest international showdowns ever? For now, Topuria remains focused on his next fight, but one thing is certain, the UFC's Spanish era is on the horizon, and Ilia Topuria will be leading the charge. Move on to another news. Just weeks ahead of his next title defense, Merab Dvalishvili opened up about one of the boldest moves of his career, accepting a fight against Petr Yan on short notice. Speaking with confidence and honesty, the Georgian bantamweight champion explained his decision and shared insights about his mindset, past controversies, and possible future super fights. Merab revealed that he didn't want to sit out for too long between fights. According to him, waiting until next spring for another bout wasn't an option. "If I didn't fight this year, I'd lose momentum," he said. "I want to stay active and keep improving. The longer you stay out, the harder it is to get back in rhythm." For Merab, taking the fight early wasn't about risk, it was about staying sharp and challenging himself. Known as the Machine for his relentless pace, he thrives on consistency and competition, and this short-notice opportunity perfectly matched his mindset. He also shared a story that fans had never heard before. The one time Dana White was genuinely upset with him. The situation occurred when Merab refused to fight his close friend and longtime training partner, Aljamain Sterling, who was the champion at the time. "Dana wasn't happy," Merab admitted, "but Aljo has been by my side for every camp, every step of my journey. There's no way I'd fight him. Some things mean more than money or titles." It was a rare glimpse into the loyalty and principles that drive the Georgian star, traits that have earned him immense respect across the MMA community. When asked about a potential super fight with former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, Merab didn't dismiss the idea but said it's not a priority right now. "If I clean out the bantamweight division and there's no one left to fight, then maybe it's something to think about," he said. "Volkanovski is a great champion, and I respect him a lot, but first, I have business to finish in my own division." Reflecting on his first bout with Petr Yan, Merab acknowledged how much he's grown since then. "The first fight was stressful," he admitted. "I was nervous and under a lot of pressure, but I'm more mature now. Still, I can't get too comfortable. I know Yan will fix the mistakes he made last time, especially underestimating me." He added that he expects a better version of Yan this time around and that motivates him to push his own limits. "If he comes back 70% better, I need to be 100% better," Merab said confidently. For the Georgian Machine, it's not just about defending a title, it's about proving that his work ethic, discipline, and drive can overcome any challenge. Whether it's short-notice fights, loyalty to teammates, or future super fights, Merab continues to show why he he's one of the most respected and relentless champions in the UFC today. Move on to another news. In a shocking turn of events, multiple UFC fighters have come forward revealing that they were offered payouts to intentionally throw fights, igniting serious discussions about integrity within the sport. The issue came to light when journalist Ariel Helwani, during his show, disclosed that he had spoken to several fighters who had been approached with offers to lose fights for money. Helwani stated, "This is not an isolated incident. I've talked to multiple people who have either experienced or know others who've been offered money to throw fights. They were asked, 'Are you interested in losing for a certain amount of dollars?'" He went on to suggest that the case involving fighter Derek Minner might be linked to similar circumstances, calling it a massive concern for the UFC's credibility. Helwani also hinted that questionable refereeing in recent events has only fueled suspicions about potential corruption, saying, "You can't help but let your mind go there when you see some of the strange decisions lately." Shortly after, UFC veteran Vince Morales confirmed on Twitter that he had once been offered $70,000 to lose a fight. In a now-deleted tweet, he wrote, "I've been approached about throwing a fight. It's not something I could live with, even though I lost that fight anyway." When asked how much he was offered, Morales replied, "Pennies, really, around $70K. Morales later clarified that the offer came during fight week at the UFC Apex, adding that he didn't take it seriously at the time. This revelation isn't new to the UFC. Back in 2015, South Korean fighter Tae Yun Bang was caught accepting $90,000 to lose his fight against Leo Kuntz at UFC Fight Night 79. He was eventually found guilty of fight fixing and sentenced to 10 months in prison. These incidents show how deeply betting-related corruption can infiltrate combat sports. Adding to the controversy, UFC fighter Vanessa Demopoulos also admitted on Instagram that she had been approached to throw a fight. "People have approached me too," she wrote. "My integrity could never. We've spent our lives honoring this sport. I can't believe others would compromise that for money." Her words resonated with many fighters who value respect and honor over financial temptation. The revelations have sparked growing concern about the integrity of MMA as a whole. Betting scandals have already led to major investigations, and as more fighters speak up, the problem appears far from isolated. Analysts warn that these allegations could have legal consequences, including potential prison sentences for anyone caught engaging in fight fixing. Interestingly, the controversy also gave new meaning to a past statement from Derek Lewis. In a previous interview with Ariel Helwani, Lewis joked that the UFC was scripted, saying, "They want me to win by first-round knockout. It's part of the script." While fans laughed it off at the time, recent events have led many to wonder whether there was a hint of truth behind his words. As the UFC faces growing scrutiny, questions about transparency, integrity, and oversight are louder than ever. If these fight-fixing claims continue to surface, they could represent one of the biggest scandals in the organization's history, a wake-up call for a sport built on honor, competition, and the pursuit of greatness. Move on to another news. Arman Tsarukyan has stirred the pot in the lightweight division with his recent comments about Ilia Topuria, claiming that the reigning champion has yet to face a true test inside the UFC octagon. Speaking in a candid interview, Tsarukyan argued that while Topuria has shown impressive performances, the level of competition he has faced doesn't truly reflect the challenges of the sport's elite. According to Tsarukyan, most of Topuria's opponents have either been past their prime or not at their physical best when they fought him. "I think Ilia hasn't really been tested yet," he said. "He hasn't fought anyone who's at their peak right now. Look at who he's faced, fighters who were already compromised, coming off injuries, or simply past their prime. If he wants to prove he's the best, he needs to face someone like me or Islam Makhachev, guys who are active, hungry, and at the top of their game." The Armenian lightweight went on to emphasize that true greatness in MMA comes from taking on the toughest competition when they're performing at their highest level. Ilia fought Volkanovski, who had already been knocked out and been through wars. And then you have Holloway, he's still dangerous but fighting mainly for the money now. If Ilia can beat me or Islam, then we can start talking about him as one of the all-time greats, Tsarukyan continued. This isn't the first time Tsarukyan has made headlines by calling out top names in the sport. Known for his relentless grappling and confidence, Arman has built a reputation as one of the most fearless contenders in the lightweight division. Many fans see his comments as a calculated move to position himself for a marquee matchup, possibly even a title eliminator. Still, others agree with his assessment, believing that Topuria's dominant performances have yet to be tested against elite-level wrestlers or pressure fighters. Ilia Topuria, who remains undefeated in the UFC, has silenced critics time and again with his precision striking, composure, and knockout knockout power. His rise has been nothing short of meteoric, from dismantling opponents in the featherweight division to becoming one of the most talked about fighters in the sport. However, Tsarukyan's remarks highlight a growing debate among MMA fans. Has Topuria truly faced the kind of stylistic challenges that define champions, or is his biggest test still ahead of him? As both men continue to rise through their respective divisions, a potential clash between Tsarukyan and Topuria would undoubtedly generate massive interest. Arman's wrestling-heavy approach could serve as the perfect counter to Ilia's striking mastery, a matchup that many believe would finally answer whether Topuria's dominance can withstand relentless pressure from an elite grappler. For now, Tsarukyan's comments have added fuel to an already heated conversation within the MMA community. Whether he's genuinely questioning Topuria's resume or simply angling for a big fight, one thing is certain: fans are eager to see if El Matador can silence yet another challenger and prove that he's not just undefeated, but truly untouchable.